Shreks. I'm Sarah.
And I'm JJ. And this is that place where we go. We did it. I'm so excited that we did it normal. Welcome to that place where we go to get away from all the things that have a point. The world is still weird and we love to talk about it. I'm super excited about my stories. Just the titles alone are just choice. And so this is going to be a good episode. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. Let's approach the news desk.
All right. So my first story is a short one, but
okay.
Highly interesting. It says, SHREK'S SWAMP. Listed for a weekend stay on Airbnb.
Wait, what? It's not a real place.
Airbnb is offering a free weekend stay at SHREK'S SWAMP, a Scotland home designed after the fictional ogre's tree stump abode from the Shrek movies.
It's in Scotland? Oh, now I want to go.
And it looks like legit. Like, I'll have to show you the video after this, but it says the October 27 to 29 stay, which is hosted by Donkey, can be booked for up to 3 people. Donkey?
That's... So there's an Airbnb post. Someone made this, and they said that my name is Donkey,
and they've renovated they've created this tree stump home from the Shrek
amazing.
Movies. It says it's not a contest, but will be booked on a first come first served basis. The stay is completely free. Airbnb calls it a nod to the priceless refuge SHREK'S SWAMP. Has provided fairy tale creatures of all kinds.
I'm so torn because. So a whole bunch of questions. One, so it's free.
Yep. It's for this one weekend stay, in October.
So is it being put on by like the studio or something? Because how do you get away with that and not like infringe on some kind of copyright, whatever?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Interesting. Scotland, eh? I like.
So if you were from the U.S., you'd have to like purchase your ticket. You'd have to be the first person to like.
Yeah.
Book this. It says the opening to start the possibility of booking this place for just that weekend is October 13.
So it's coming in like
in about 12 days.
Well, for us, from the time this podcast comes out, it'll be like a week left.
That's true. It says the home is modeled after Shrek's house from the DreamWorks animated film. It features oversized furniture, earwax candles, and an outhouse.
I feel like you did not grow up with Shrek as much as I did. Like
I watched it. I had the soundtrack on a CD.
Yeah.
Both the soundtrack and the score.
Smash,
because that's what I used to do. But yeah, I did watch it. I just wasn't as into it.
It was like
it's one of those movies that's a little bit like
it's a little crass.
But it's a little crass, and that's not really my style. Like you guys were really into like the Grinch and like Shrek, and like the Jim Carrey Grinch, not the classic.
You
Grinch.
like the classic.
It's just a little more crass than my style. So
see, in my family, we watched that movie 100 million times while I was in high school.
And I've seen it.
I had
times,
it memorized. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
We loved that. We quoted it constantly. I didn't like the sequels as much. 2 was good. 3 was terrible. 4 was okay. But the first one's still the GOAT. I mean, it was just so good.
Yeah. It. It's one of those DreamWorks movies, early 2000s. But yeah, this place looks pretty legit. So you can stay there and
stay in Shrek in the Swamp. Are you telling me that you've booked my birthday present? Is that what's happening?
Happy birthday.
Hey, if it's free, it only costs thousands of dollars to fly there.
It says kids are welcome, but they must be 5 and over.
Oh, man. That's all right. They can stay behind.
Sorry, guys. You can't come with to Shrek's house.
To Shrek's house. That would be so awesome.
But anyways.
Shrek.
Yep, there it is.
Hosted by Donkey. That's a fantastic story.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It caught my eye, so I was like, I have to check
we can't go, right? Of course we can't go, but I really want to. I want to enter.
It's a cool idea.
I'm still very curious about why is it free?
Yeah, it must just be like that host is like, you know what? I'll do a free weekend. Like, anyone can stay for the weekend for free. And so they started promoting it. And
dead broad off the table. I love it. All right, check this out. I love this so much. Wally, the emotional support alligator, went to see the Phillies, and then he went viral.
What? Someone has an emotional support alligator? Please tell me that it has its mouth bound and that it is incredibly small.
It does not. An emotional support alligator takes a walk to the ballpark and is asked to leave.
Of course.
That's the story that made headlines in recent days thanks to viral photos. This is from September 29th. Thanks to viral photos and videos showing Wally, a 6-foot-long, 55-pound alligator wearing a harness and a leash, and his human companion outside of the Citizens Bank Park during a Phillies game on Wednesday night. He tried to come in with an alligator, and he said it was a service animal.
I'm sorry. How does an alligator count as a service animal? It's literally, it could bite your hand off.
So the name of the guy, I think it's Joey, but it's spelled Joie. Joey. Joey? Joey?
Joey?
I don't know. Joey Henney is the owner of the alligator. He told NPR, we were not there to go to the ball game. He's 70 years old, by the way. He's a 70-year-old man walking an alligator down the road. We were there to meet up. Does he know that it's
an alligator? Does he have poor eyesight? Does he think it's a very large dog?
Sir, your dog
is vicious.
It's bald.
We have some questions.
We were not there to go to the ball game, said Henney, age 70. We were there to meet the players, was what we were there for, and I was invited. I didn't just show up. To understand the backstory, you need to know, as Wally's myriad of local admirers and online fans do, just how beloved this 8-year-old alligator is already. Wally has more than 114,000 followers on TikTok and another 27,000 on Instagram. He has gone viral before, including joyfully splashing around in the fountain at Philadelphia's famous Love Park last summer. He posed for photos at City Hall with the mayor of York, and visited seniors at the local retirement home. He is the visual reference for He was the visual reference for Alligator Loki in the hit Disney Plus TV show Loki. He's actually world famous, Henney said, which is how he scored an invite to meet the Phillies. So he wasn't just an old guy talking when he said, I'm there to meet the players. He really was going to meet the players because he's a very famous alligator. Your face. Wally only goes where he's invited. As Henney explained it, one of Wally's fans, who visits him regularly from New Jersey, is also a big Phillies fan and happens to be friendly with some of the players and their wives. After hearing her rave reviews, the team invited Henney and Wally to Philadelphia, which is about 2 hours away from where they live, in Harrisburg. They were not there to watch the game. They just came to meet the players. But by the time they got to the stadium, the players were already preparing for the game. And since they were already there, his friend figured she'd buy them tickets to watch. She didn't ask about the rules for emotional support animals.
It sounds more like this is like an owner taking advantage of like the
fuzzy,
how viral this animal has gone, like it's making us famous. He's famous, and so it's like I don't know that it's emotional support animals so much as like
I don't think he uses this alligator as an emotional support animal ever in any other situation.
I think it's his little moneymaker is what I think.
I imagine. 27,000 followers on Instagram. We were standing in line and they said, I can't take Wally because they only allow service animals. And I said, okay, I respect what your rules are, Henney said. There was no arguing. There was nothing. So he's kind of like, look, I'm not here to fight. You're not going to let me in. You're not going to let me in. Citizen Bank Parks policy prohibits all animals other than guide dogs, service animals, or service animals in training. NPR has reached out to the Phillies for comment.
How 6 feet long and it's not violent? I just have so many questions about this alligator. Has it had its teeth removed? Is it like the abominable snowman from Rudolph? Like,
yep, that's what happened.
They have some sort of surgery.
Henney emphasized he would not have shown up with Wally unannounced. I don't go anywhere Wally is not invited. They do get invited lots of places like restaurants and malls. He said that it's been missing a lot. He said that's been missing a lot in a lot of the headlines about the week's outing. He wished people wouldn't be so quick to criticize. So apparently people are like, you crazy person just showing up with your alligator. And he's like, whoa, I didn't just show up. I wasn't like, this was a thing. They think I just randomly took him to a ball game. I'm not even a baseball fan. I don't watch baseball. I don't.
So then why is he meeting the Phillies? Like,
just
it's like me being like, I don't even know.
I don't even care about what
I don't even care about this team, but I'm going to go meet the players. Why?
He prefers the York Revolution, the minor league team, in part because they're fans of Wally. He noted many of the people at the stadium were happy to see Wally. They gave him hugs and kisses, which he says is not an unusual reception for the alligator. That's weird.
And how many dogs has he eaten?
Wait for it. Alligators don't typically make good ESAs. What's ESA? I wonder.
Emotional support animal.
Oh, yes,
it's an acronym.
Of course. There you go. Wally attracts attention wherever he goes. It's not hard to, seeing that he's the first reptile to be legally certified as an emotional support animal. Oh, okay, so he's legally certified.
How much did he have to pay them to say he was an
It might be because he walks on a leash. It could be because of the red harness with his name on it. And it definitely has something to do with the fact that his mouth isn't taped shut because he doesn't bite. I've been
Until he does bite.
Yeah, exactly. I've been handling gators for 30 years and I never met a gator. I don't know why I'm doing the accent.
Yeah, he's from Pennsylvania, JJ, not Florida. He's not Florida man. He's Pennsylvania man.
I never met a gator who will not bite you when you're close to their mouth. In fact, it compares Wally to a living weighted blanket who loves to be held and give hugs. He's especially partial to chin rubs.
And then one day the police get called to the man's home and the alligator has eaten the man and his partner or whatever.
The handle is at Wally the Alligator. Henny didn't set out to own a pet alligator, let alone an emotional support reptile. He works in woodcrafting and rescues reptiles on the side, which is how Wally came to his life at about 18 months. So he's had this thing for 8 years, but he's had it since it was a baby, since it was 8 months old.
Wow.
When I rescue them, they're not my pets. I'm trying to help them get into good health, he explained. But Wally came special. He attached to me real super close, so I kept him. It says that Wally has helped him navigate depression and especially difficult moments like deaths of several family members and radiation treatment for prostate cancer, which he underwent with Wally by his side. Apparently, it wasn't his idea to register him as an emotional support animal. His doctor suggested it. He said, you should get that thing registered as an emotional support animal. He decided to go through the certification process, and he hasn't regretted it. And then here's the final sentence of the article, which is kind of, he means a lot to me. And he said, actually, he means as much to me as my children. Big wide-eyed stare. Wait a minute.
How do your kids feel about that? Does that mean that you're leaving everything to your alligator when you die?
Like the lady from that movie Aristocats, right? Edgar. I think it's really cute and really weird, and there's not actually much of a story. I've discovered the existence of Wally, the emotional support alligator.
There are so many questions there, but whew. Okay.
Yeah, that's my first story.
Okay.
It was good, right? Like that's some solid weirdness.
That is a good animal story.
I'm proud.
My next story is an animal story.
Nice.
Sheep wander into a greenhouse and eat 600 pounds of marijuana plants.
Oh, what happens to a sheep when it eats marijuana?
A flock of sheep found their way into a greenhouse in Greece and ate more than 600 pounds of marijuana plants being cultivated for medicinal use.
Oh my gosh. I don't okay, I know nothing, right? But weed is like, it's leaves, right? So it's lightweight. So the weight is what I'm saying is like a pound of marijuana is probably a pretty hefty pile. 600 pounds. It's like a warehouse full. Oh my goodness.
The owner of the greenhouse said his crop had already been damaged by heat and recent floods, and then a flock of sheep managed to enter the greenhouse and feast on the remaining cannabis plants.
Wow.
He estimated that the sheep munched their way through more than 600 pounds of plants.
I wonder how much that is. Like how much product did he lose financially, you know?
I don't know. He told the newspaper that the sheep were jumping higher than goats after eating their ill-begotten greenery. Well done. Higher than goats, huh? Wow. It just says, that. So it sounds like his crop was already damaged, but the sheep just finished it off. And 600 pounds of marijuana. That's the end of the story.
That's
like, they
hilarious.
just ate through all of that.
He says they jumped higher than goats. I would think, because marijuana is supposed to like mellow you out, right? Like I would think they'd all be like kind of lounging, like sleepy and just kind of.
She were already kind of like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it had the opposite effect.
It has
on
a
them.
different effect on them, and they go jumping higher than goats.
I don't know.
That's amazing.
Isn't that bizarre? I saw that story and I was like, wait, what?
My dog ate my homework and my sheep ate my crops.
Can you imagine being the owner of that, being like, okay, but we're going to recover from this. We can still take care of this. It's going to be okay. It's fine. And then all of a sudden to be like, oh, sheep broke into the warehouse.
I got to imagine. Well, I was just thinking, like, is there like insurance for that? But how could there possibly be?
I mean, how do you even imagine that's a possibility? Wow. I want to know how the sheep got in there and decided that it was a good idea to start eating this stuff.
Look at all these leaves. These are delicious. Well,
just so bizarre.
And the other thing is, I guess I wonder. I'm very limited in my knowledge of marijuana. Does it affect you if you just eat the leaves? Like, I know that you smoke it and it affects you, but like if you just eat the leaves, I assume the THC that's in there that gets in you no matter what. Huh.
I just thought, wow,
Bizarre.
interesting sheep.
Wow.
Like, how many sheep were there? It just says a flock of sheep.
Wow. A flock of sheep ate 600 pounds.
It's just, ridiculous. So.
I mean, that would be a bummer if any kind of crop got eaten.
Yeah.
But I assume marijuana is fairly, like, lucrative, and there's a lot of money in that.
It says Greece legalized cannabis in, like, 2017 or whatever.
Yeah, so this is a big market now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I'm just like...
Oh, boy.
Unfortunate for that man and his crop.
Yes, it is.
He may never recover. He must be feeling sheepish. Huh?
All right, so it's this story. I'm excited about it because it was just a few days old. But last week there was the threat of government shutdown.
Yes.
Right. And now it was averted. They did come to a solution, and they did vote to fund the government for another 45 days or whatever.
So just treading water.
Right. Yeah, they postponed it for a little bit. But the important thing is this article is unaffected, but it almost was. Okay. So this article, BostonHerald.com, says Alaska's popular Fat Bear Week could be postponed if the government shuts down.
What is Fat Bear Week?
Fat Bear Week. Anchorage, Alaska. I got to give you this sentence. A looming government shutdown threatens to claw its way into a crowd-pleasing Alaska tradition, Fat Bear Week.
Of course.
Fat Bear Week is a most watched popularity contest involving residents picking their favorite fat brown bear who's been stocking up for winter by noshing on salmon at the Katmai National Park and Preserve. Viewers of the bears online vote tournament-style brackets for who they want to advance to the next round until a champion is crowned in the week-long contest.
This is so bizarre.
So there's a week-long contest. They take a bunch of pictures of bears that have been stocking up in the park because they eat all the salmon and they get super fat.
Of course.
More than 1 million votes were cast last year.
Wow.
Fat Bear Week. The problem is national park employees count and release those votes, and a shutdown won't allow them to do it. Because it could trigger a ban on using the park's official social media accounts as long as the government is closed. So they won't be working, and the social media accounts won't be active. So should a lapse happen, we will need to postpone Fat Bear Week.
Oh, heavens. Oh, heavens. Wow.
If Congress does not reach an agreement to fund the federal government, operations will shut down Sunday. This year's Fat Bear Week contest was set to begin on Wednesday of this week. So just a couple days ago.
Wednesday.
Right. For us, from recording, yes. For when the episode drops, it'll be 2 days ago. 2 days ago, the Fat Bear Week contest began. So I am certain that this article came out and the members of the Senate said, oh my gosh, we need a deal so that Fat Bear Week can happen.
They had to go for it.
The National Park Service estimates that 2,200 brown bears inhabit the park, a number exceeding the people who live on the peninsula. Alaska is amazing. They have more bears than people.
What's amazing is this is their pastime.
Yes. I mean, that's a pretty cool pastime. The bears have to eat 6 to 8 months of food. They have 6 to 8 months to eat a year's worth of food to ensure their survival through the winter. The brown bears are famous for standing in brook falls, catching sockeye salmon in their mouths to fatten up for the winter. It's a huge draw for the park and the Alaskan Peninsula, the arm of land extending from Alaska's southwest corner to the Aleutian Islands.
Yeah.
Those islands, about 250 miles southwest of Anchorage. It's a big spectacle. Everybody wants to come and watch the bears do the crazy catch the salmon thing. There are viewing stands that are erected.
It's pretty cool to watch salmon jump. It would be cool to watch them jump into the mouth of a bear.
And so if anyone wants to check it out, cameras operated by explore.org provide live streams of the bear at Katmai. And the Fat Bear Week Challenge is live now. And so definitely go check that out. because the government did not shut down.
Yeah. So we can all go on with our lives. All is well.
I love it so much.
That's crazy.
Fat Bear Week can continue. Brown bears.
Nice. Are you gonna vote?
Yes, I definitely am gonna hop on and find my favorite fat bear, because the government didn't shut down. It's the only good news that came out of this whole government shutdown fight.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
I do have a follow-up, though, from a story that you did a couple weeks ago.
Oh, give it to me.
You remember the Ham Bone Award?
Yes.
Did you see that the cat was the winner of that award?
Is that the one that was in the couch?
Stuck in the couch. Yep. The cat won that award. So it got stuck in the couch and went on the wind, the ham bone.
That's amazing. I'm so glad you followed up on that. I did not see who.
It was a random... I
think it was Giles the cat.
As I was... looking for my other stories.
That's
and
fantastic.
It said, that it had won the Ham Bone Award. So.
The cat that got smushed by the couch.
There you have it. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Aw. Wow. Animal stories make good, weird stories. And we've talked about this a couple times. All our stories fall into the same categories of world records, Florida Man, lottery something, or animal stories. Those are like the bread and butter of this podcast, is all the weirdness.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
It is.
Yeah. This is both of mine were, everything was animal heavy today.
For sure.
Wally, the emotional support alligator.
Crazy.
Are you ready for Sponsor Your Life?
I have to think of what we went to Art Prize, of course.
Yeah, we did a lot of cool stuff, so it's been a good week.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
All right. Go for it.
So this past week, we drove out to Grand Rapids, drove across the state, west side, and went to Grand Rapids to go to Art Prize, which is it's an annual event. They
do it every other year now, right?
Yeah, they tried to do we'll do smaller stuff and then bigger stuff, and I think they've been doing it every year now.
10 years, something like that.
No, well, we got engaged to Art Prize, so it has to be longer than that.
Oh, that's true.
So I think the first year they did it was 2010.
That's like 13 years.
So it's been about, I think they just, they think they said Art Prize 13. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, but they've been doing it for about 13 years. And we were seniors at Calvin.
Yep.
No, we had graduated from Calvin when they first did it.
I don't remember. Yes.
Fall of 2010, we would have been
right after.
Yeah, so we were there when they started it. I remember when it was such a big deal and they were doing it the first time, and then we got engaged at Art Prize the following year.
Part of our story.
Yeah, and we've tried to go,
it's special to
as
us.
much as we can.
Yeah.
We, when we were living in Chicago, we came back a couple times to go with my family, and then over the years we've tried to go if we're close to it.
We've been quite a few of the years, not every year, but
we didn't go last year. We went 2 years ago.
When we were in the UP, we couldn't make it very much.
It was too tricky. I don't think we went during 2020. We went in 2021 for sure.
Yes.
I remember going.
Yep.
But we didn't go last year, but we decided to go this year, and we ended up meeting up with my sister.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Art Prize, it's like a giant international artist festival that takes over the city of Grand Rapids. And there's venues
art everywhere.
And it's like outdoor sculptures, which is really cool. Sometimes artists will paint while you're there. The city loves it because it brings all these tourists and whatnot. And there's like money and prizes and, awards, and you can buy the art and
all sorts of different types of art too. Like there's visual arts and there's
photography and sculptures and
tons of different stuff. And so it's a really cool thing to go see.
So fun.
It's vast. It covers such a large portion of the city, and there's big pockets here and there, and we just hit a small fraction of it.
I mean, we just went for one day,
with like 3-4 hours in the afternoon, and we didn't even touch it.
We scratched the surface, but what we saw was super fun. It was
so much fun, and we did what we could with kids, but it was a really good time. We got a chance to drive across. We saw my sister and the kids and visited with family. It was a really good time. The kids had a great time. They were very, very excited about it. So it was a fun day. I thought it was well worth the drive.
It was an awesome day. Yeah. And sponsor that. Art Prize is a fantastic sponsor. I should give our little disclaimer, right? So for those who don't know, this podcast is teeny tiny and we kind of like it that way. We don't have any pressure to like fit the mold. We're just doing our own thing. But what that means is we don't have any sponsors, not real sponsors. Nobody's paying us to do this. This is just fun for us.
No one's paying us?
Nope, no income. This is just for the pleasure of my company. So I'm getting the better end of that deal.
I think I'm out then.
But we like to have a thankful spirit, and we just like to pump up different products and services. And so that's what we do. Every episode, we take a pause in the middle to pump up. Like, they don't pay us, but we would. Like, I would absolutely be a spokesperson for Art Prize.
Oh, absolutely.
They would never ask us to do that, of course. But I like Art Prize. And yeah, I definitely want to pump that up. I have like 3 or 4 different things I could do, but I'm really kind of smitten with Lehman's Apple Barn right now.
Oh, yeah.
So around here, we are big fans of You Pick apple orchards, where you go and you pick your own apples. And none of the apple orchards around here do that. But on my way home, somebody told us, hey, you got to check out this Apple Barn. And they were doing some promotion with these special pumpkin donuts or whatever. And so I was like, all right, I'll stop by and get some donuts on my way home. And I did. And like, I was bummed because the donuts I went for were already sold out.
Okay, the donuts that they were advertising for that I saw on their Instagram page were pumpkin. Sorry, let me show them what
is that?
I don't know.
It's fine.
Someone's using a power tool. It was like filled.
I don't even know if they can hear that on the recording, but it's so ridiculous. It sounds like someone's like snorting or blowing their nose in the background.
The donut was a filled donut that was filled with homemade pumpkin buttercream, topped with a cream cheese buttercream and drizzle on top. And it just sounded so good.
Really good.
It sounded really good, mostly because of the pumpkin buttercream. Like, I love buttercream, but pumpkin buttercream sounded really good.
Well, and it, so I go and I'm all pumped. I'm like, yeah. And I get there and I'm like, I need this. And the lady looks at me and she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I don't know. There was an Instagram reel that drew me here. And she's like, oh, the special that we're doing all weekend. We ran out of those. And I was like,
I should have gotten it yesterday when I went to the Apple.
Oh, man. But I did. I was like, I'm not walking out empty-handed. I'm here for donuts, right? And so they had just cake donuts, but one was an apple pie cake donut. And it had like apple pie filling and frosting on top of it. And I'm not joking. I've had a lot of cake donuts and a lot of apple orchards over the years. The greatest cake donut I've ever had.
Moist. They were not dry.
They were not dried out.
Not,
The pumpkin flavor was actually pumpkin flavor. The frosting on top, I think it was buttercream, was choice. I mean,
it weren't heavy and dense either.
No.
Like I've often had, you get cake donuts from an orchard or something, and it's like, ours are so good, and it's like,
yeah, they're all kind of the same.
They all kind of blend together, but these actually were really good.
This
cake
was
donuts,
next level, and it was packed. I mean, even for not a U-Pick, there were tons of like young families and kids running around. I was just kind of standing there like, whoa, what is this place?
I stopped there briefly yesterday to pick up apple cider so that I could have a treat for the boys, and it's a cool place, but it was hopping.
Yeah, and so we've only been. They don't do U-Pick, which is disappointing for us, but the cake donuts at Lehman's Apple Barn in Freeland, Michigan, awesome.
Really
and I
good.
am pumping them up because this is a non-paid advertisement, but it's that good.
It's worth it.
And that is sponsoring my life today.
Nice.
All right, so now it is time for, I'm going to call this Twitter trouble because this is where it comes from, but...
Is Twitter a thing anymore?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's not X... Well, I can't call it that. You can't call it
X Troubles.
No longer trouble.
Troubles.
No, it's a game. So I don't really have a name for this, but I'm calling it the Christian... Oh my gosh, I need to go to bed.
Suddenly, this game took a strange turn, and I got real excited for a second because I love Christmas-themed games. But anyway.
Okay, so for some context before I introduce the game, we are Detroit fans. We are big Michigan people. I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit. You grew up on the other side of the state.
I love you. Like, I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit, and you grew up somewhere else in Michigan.
Yeah, somewhere that's not as good as the suburbs of Detroit.
West side is the best side, JJ. Everyone knows it.
But we like supporting our Detroit teams, right? And this year, the Lions, which is the football team in Detroit, if you don't know,
thank you for explaining.
I'm just helping. Some people don't know that. They have been, really all we watch is football and hockey. Those are the two. I haven't watched basketball in a long time.
About football.
But we do enjoy watching. We've watched for years, and the Lions have been bad for decades. And then this year they come out and they're only 3-4 games in, but they're doing really well, and that's really exciting. And so people are starting to get hopeful, which is dangerous in Detroit. We should know better, but that inspired me, and I said, okay, what if we made a Christian fantasy football league? And so I posted it to all the different socials, Facebook threads.
By Christian, you mean biblical?
Well, both biblical. So the prompt I gave, let me read it to you. I said, Christian Fantasy Football League, what Bible character or VeggieTale personality would you want on your fantasy football team, and why? And then we got a bunch of responses from different people.
I'm curious to see what people say.
Yeah, so just let's do us first. So what Bible character or VeggieTale personality do you want on your fantasy football team?
I know nothing about football, and I'm also not very good at...
I feel like... I'm trying to think the VeggieTale characters, because I think that would be funny.
I would not want Larry on my team. I mean, no offense to Larry.
He's too bumbling.
Yeah.
I think Bob would make a great...
Also the fact that, JJ, you're creating a football team where none of the characters have hands.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big problem for you.
Catch the ball. How? Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so let's see. My buddy Shane said Esau would be great on a football team.
Yeah.
Yep. Big burly dude, right?
Yep.
He'd be a good defender.
Pent up aggression.
I am just going to say, for anyone who's listening who helped contribute to these questions, some people were like, he would be like this character or this player. And it's like, I don't know football players. I know the names of our team in Detroit. And not even that. I know half of our players.
You know 3.
Yes.
But that's okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I know our hockey team really well. But so he's like, Esau, dude would be like Earl Campbell or Jerome Bettis. I don't know who those people are. And several people mentioned Jerome Bettis. I don't know who that is, but anyways.
That's fine.
But I do like Esau on my football team. That's a good one.
Good.
A bunch of people mentioned Samson.
Oh, of course.
Because, of course, this says Samson pre-Delilah. Dude was a machine.
Pre-Delilah.
Yeah, after Delilah, not so much. Jael, that woman was intense.
Ooh.
There you go. Little dad joke action over there. Hands down, gotta have Moses for my offensive line. His run game would be unstoppable.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
He would run right through the middle of the D line, the defensive line, part the wave. David would be helpful, and then Peter could be Jerome Bettis, running back. So I've gathered that Jerome Bettis is a running back. I do like Peter because he was not the fast one, right? John beat him in the race.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the big joke. Samson and Goliath for defense. Goliath.
I feel like that's not fair.
That's cheating. Larry boy.
Larry boy.
A little suction cup stuck to the helmet. Feel like he would not actually be helpful. Junior Asparagus, starting halfback. All right.
That's cute.
Just cute, yep. Is it bad if I ask for Goliath? All right. Mordecai is the center. He knows how to use his position to stand up against the defense and protect his quarterback by foiling their plans.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty solid. I like that. Yes, Scott Craig, he put in some good thought. Josiah as quarterback. He's been playing since he was 8 years old and has become the GOAT. It's true. It's true. Nice. Josiah, that's what he was known for. I'll take John the Beloved as the speed wideout because he's the one who was running faster than Peter. Is someone allowed to take the Nephilim? That'd be my defense, I think.
I think.
Samson, another one for Samson. And then I pushed back. I said, okay, but what position? And then this guy says, he'd be a Micah Parsons-esque pass rusher. And I'm sort of having a Good Burger moment where I'm like, I know some of those words. I don't know who Micah Parsons is.
I'll take your word for it.
This game is just here to embarrass me and show how bad I am at this. Jehu at running back because he drives like a madman. Now, which story is Jehu?
It's tugging on my memory.
I can't remember.
Pull it out.
Jacob is my general manager. He absolutely fleeced Esau in that trade.
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
Good.
Joshua at QB. Apostle Paul all day long. Make a good QB, but he's good for a turnover.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Archibald Asparagus gets you out of the hole and saves the day.
Yeah, that's valid.
I like it. Michael the Archangel. We've got Nephilim and archangels going up against Goliath, and oh man, this one's good. It's a pun. It's not a Bible character. It just says Mahomes not of this world, as in Patrick Mahomes, quarterback of the Chiefs. Fantastic.
I'm surprised no one has said Jesus yet.
No one put Jesus out there at all.
He's like the ultimate easy answer here, and no one is saying Jesus.
My friend Joelle posted, and I'm pretty sure she knows nothing about football because all she went with was VeggieTale characters. She says Madam Blueberry gets to be the cheerleader. Pa Grape is the offensive coach. Mr. Lunt is the defensive coach. Goliath and his brothers are the offensive linemen. Noah is the wide receiver because the boy can run. And then James, the apostle, is QB.
Why not Jonah as someone who can run? Because we all know that he just, went in the exact opposite direction.
That's true. It'd be more of an interception.
I guess that's true.
All right, so that is Christian Fantasy Football League.
Nice.
I just threw it out there. It was random, and I was
cute.
like, it's kind of fun.
I like that. So people are much more intelligent and give this a lot more thought than
I love it when I throw random stuff out and our friends on the internet respond and get back because that's just good community. The internet is a weird place for weird people to gather and connect and be weird.
Yeah,
and
that must be why you're on all that social media and I'm not.
Yes, I am just drawn to it.
Not weird
You're not. You have a different kind of weird.
I guess that's true.
Oh man, hey everybody! Thanks so much for joining us. This is our fun, goofy podcast. We love taking a break from the rest of the world and all their stress and just the negative stuff that's out there. We're just ready to take a break and have fun. And we're thankful for everybody joining us along the ride.
Absolutely.
If you want to hit us up on Apple Podcasts, leave a review, or Spotify, push that 5 stars. That helps other people find this fun, goofy content. We don't have a ton of listeners, but we have enough that we really should, if everybody listening to this right now would go and give us a review, that would boost us in a big way. And then we'd have 3 listeners instead of just 2. So that would be pretty amazing.
JJ and one other random person.
Yep. It's my buddy Sean. All right. Let's see. Are you ready to send us out with the mom joke of the week? Oh, and thank you to whoever makes our theme song.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. That's lemon person. Yes.
Integral.
It's officially a bit now that I'm not going to look it up and give proper credit.
All right. So, how did the Vikings communicate with one another?
Vikings communicate. Got on the horn? I don't know.
By Norse code.
Nice. Bye, everybody.
Bye.